Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Discussing Death Ballad podcast. I am your host, Mo, because, also we have Mac here, and no Wolf.
Right. Well, that's kind of like a foreboding kind of intro right there.
Yeah, Wolf died. No, he didn't die. He's alive and well, I think. Wolf does not want to do the podcast anymore. His reasons are his own. We won't get into them. There's no point. But he's just done. It's been coming a while. If you talk to him, he's just, unless it's a character he's really interested in, he doesn't seem as into the versus stuff anymore. You know.
We won't get into them, but we're gonna get into them.
Nah,
basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's the gist. If he wants to explain himself more, he can. He still has the login details if he watches this video. If you guys probably all know how to contact him, subscribe to his channel maybe still.
If he still Twitch streams, you can find him there. You know, by all means, go watch him stream whenever he does. And he is. Don't say that this is like the door is completely shut on him. Like,
oh no.
He is more than welcome to come back.
Yeah,
at any time.
If he ever changes his mind, it's the same with any of the other past hosts. Because, okay, if you're watching this and just clicked off already after hearing Wolf's gone, well, okay, never mind. That's stupid. Of course, if you're if you're still watching this despite the fact Wolf is gone, I know it's a lot different from the product that you originally were subscribed for. After all,
all the hosts are gone.
All of the original hosts were gone. If you guys
are gone,
if you guys don't know how this podcast started, it started on the forums when Star and Swan were like, "This would be a cool idea," and Wolf is the guy who's like, "I'll do it with you," and he did like everything. Wolf did the recording, he did the editing, so. You know, Star and Swan are the guys who kind of made it happen, who thought of it, and Wolf made it happen when nobody else would bother. I was around at the time, and I was like, I can't
play sad violin music during this part.
I'm not editing this at all. I'm a bit. I
know. I'm just bullshitting.
Yeah, I know. By the way, that's why this one's gonna be bare bones, no music, no nothing, and you're only seeing our avatar screens. It's just because there's a lot of testing going on because Wolf recorded stuff for us still. Because when I was calling him, there was a lot of as you guys probably noticed, my mic cut out a lot. That doesn't seem to be a problem with just me and Mac.
Hopefully, knock on wood.
Well, knock on wood. I haven't heard it at all, so we've been in a call for last little bit, and there hasn't been anything. So hopefully, we should be okay. Anyway, well, this podcast started because it's a brainchildren of Star and Swan. And Wolf is the guy who made it happen. As time's gone on, Swan went on to better things in this community. Star got disillusioned with this community, and Wolf kind of both. He's done with the community. He's done with this, which is a shame. But if
their dream lives on.
Yeah, with
us.
We have no we have no intention of stopping the podcast. If some of you have a problem with either of us and we're here for Wolf,
not sure why you would. I mean, we're pretty awesome.
Well, but like, I know if you're here for the original tree and now that's not here for you anymore, we completely understand, but we hope you stick around because as for the podcast itself, we will be looking for another co-host. It's just me and Mac right now because, in case you haven't noticed, we haven't updated in a while. No, that's not because of Wolf. If you want to know the full lowdown, we basically did not have time to record between now and up until just before 18 versus Captain Marvel, and what's it called?
We had one.
We had two. We recorded twice. The first time Wolf's mic didn't record.
We did.
And the second time Wolf.
That's true.
Wolf.
Well, that was within the same day, wasn't it?
Yeah, same day. Wolf didn't send me the files for the second one, so I couldn't edit it. And by the time I even thought of it,
and it came out really poorly anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't a great episode. You guys didn't miss much. It wasn't Wolf's fault that this is late. Really, maybe that we didn't put one out after or before 18.
It's just life.
Marvel.
It's just life got in the way.
And Wolf only told us that this wasn't happening yesterday, since this is hopefully, unless something goes horribly wrong, going out the same day as we record it. Yesterday. He told us yesterday night that this was that he wanted to leave, and he left our chat where we record this, as you can see with our glowing avatars, this morning or to this afternoon. He left like 2 hours ago. He left this chat. So yeah, it's very sudden for us. So we're kind of less scrambling. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do? So yeah, we will be looking for a new host. Me and Mac have already discussed some people we're thinking of. Some of them are returning guests. Some of them are new guys that we know of and think would be a good fit. Generally, since I know how a lot of people view, I'm not blind. I know how a lot of people view me as a negative one and Mac as the neutral one. The way that Star used to be the negative one and Swan was the neutral one, and Wolf was the overly positive one. Yeah, we're kind of looking to find somebody to replace is not the word, just take over that role
to balance it out.
Yeah, to balance it out. So that's kind of the idea. You won't as they're our friends, but you probably won't see Shad, for example, in this role. Though Shad is like one of my favorite people to talk to. He is really negative. So bro, if you're listening, sorry, this if I leave, you can have my place. So please don't assassinate me. So yeah, I forgot to mute the chat. Shit. Yeah, so we are looking for other hosts. We're discussing other things. We might, if I have it set up by now. If not, I will link it in the next episode. Have a Discord server set up specifically for discussing Death Battle. The reason I'm not giving it a huge plug is because I don't even know if we're going through with it. It's only in concept stages. It's something I only brainstormed off 2 days ago. I mentioned to Mac about 5 minutes ago.
It'll basically be something for you to
yeah.
Instead of emailing, you can put the questions down there. You can put invite suggestions down over there. Maybe
we'll still accept. We'll still accept emails. Yeah,
we'll be even more like interactive with you guys. Be like real hosts, like
because I don't know about Mac, but I don't really leave Discord except for like one chat, so it'll be a way for you guys to interact with the podcast.
I have like rotation, which I don't like go over on during like the middle of the day, but usually when I'm home, I bring my phone everywhere with me anyway. So.
Yeah, well, I don't have my phone. I don't have my phone on me anyway, but I only really I'm only in one Discord server, which is ours, and which is the one. I'm actually in 2. I'm also in Joey Poke Games Discord server, but I've never posted in there. It's huge, and there's a lot of Pokemon memes that I don't know all of them yet, so I just kind of lurk if I bother going into it at all. Anyway, yes, so that's the kind of future of a podcast in brief, because yes, it's 10 minutes long, but like there's a lot to it because we're still kind of reeling ourselves, and we have a lot to cover. So there's not going to be there's no email section. There's no obviously fights we want to see section.
Yeah,
just the 2 of us. We can make it if we try. So we're just covering all the fights we missed, and I forgot loads of them. Do you have the list?
We have the list still up somewhere.
And then
from before.
We have to add on.
Do we? That's starting from Natsu versus Ace, I think. That was the last episode we did.
Yeah, and we need to. Okay, hold on. I'm posting it now. We are the most professional podcast. So hold on. We also 18 versus Captain Marvel.
Natsu versus Ace, Subzero versus Glacius, Captain 8. 18 versus Marvel, Doomsday versus Brawly. Holy shit, this is a long time ago.
Also, we have one
Noel.
or 2 DBXs. Hold on. I'm trying to see what was the DBX before Bomberman. Oh, shit. I'm doing bad things. I'm gonna I have to edit that out. That bit of the screen. Hold on. If this, I'll probably.
Is it porn?
Yes. No, it's worse than porn. It's worse than porn.
Oh.
It's my bank account details.
Whoa.
Remember all the.
That's not for a Christian podcast.
Remember all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I bought? The 60. I bought a box. I bought a box of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I bought 2 singles for anyone who knows trading cards. What's it called? Please don't play straight away. I bought a load of those, and I'm tracking the order right now. They should be in on Monday, and it popped up on the screen there, so that's why it's black. Oh shit! I didn't have that one down, did I? Do you?
Which one?
No, you missed it. Hold on.
But this is from the last one.
I know. I made it in the list, so we have it up to date. There's only a little bit more. That's the full list.
And hopefully with Wolf gone, we could go through it like lightning fast, since there's only 2 of us talking instead of 3, try to interject with each other. So, and we also want to go over it super quickly because I think these ones could be go over super quickly anyway.
Yeah, most of them are self-explanatory, or people know our opinions already. We can probably cover them all in about 5 minutes each for the death battles and less for the normal ones, and we can get it done in an hour or so. Less, maybe. Okay. So you ready? Lightning
Let's
round?
do it, bruh.
Oh, this is gonna suck. Okay, Natsu versus Ace.
It was not very good animation, in my opinion. It was like very dark, and I don't mean like just by brutality. It was just hard to see everything with all the fire, and even when there wasn't fire, it was just kind of like this weird, like shadowy effect. It was just odd, and just not really much hype moments or anything going on. And naturally, you know me as a One Piece fanboy, I'm gonna have problems with it. And no matter how accurate it was, but and it was pretty inaccurate in my opinion.
Did you see
that's
the
wrong,
video
but
that
got
got linked? The other animation that got linked in the other chat today. From
the other
Proto,
animation that got.
It was from Proto. It was a versus animation. I would go find it, but I forgot about my screen recorder, so I can't. Just go back through the versus section and you'll find it, and then go into that channel and actually hold on, I'm cutting this screen again. I'll just link it in the main chat because I have YouTube open, so I can just go into my history and find it. Because there's a video that this reminded me of that you will probably enjoy. Why did I go on my channel? I can go to history and say.
Is it the other Natsu versus Ace one?
No, it's not. It doesn't have any, it has One Piece, but it has One Piece, but it doesn't have what's it called? It doesn't have Ace or Natsu or Fairy Tail in general. Am I too far back? I must be too far back. Where is it? Oh.
Anyway, while he looks for that.
No, found it. You can
damn it.
Sorry.
Sanji versus. Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Okay. Just making
Literally
sure.
why?
Yeah. Not only it was. Do you
Sanji
see who animated
I mean,
that?
he's my favorite character, but why?
Did you see who animated it?
Who what?
Did you see who animated it?
I did. VXVX.
No, that's
I have no idea.
Hiatus, you know the DB animator?
Oh really?
Yeah, you can tell it's him.
Good. It looked good. I just don't know why they matched them up together, or why they would recently make Sanji win unless they were biased. Which good on them, because Sanji's fucking amazing. But
it was it's a woman melee style shit. You know the drill.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's XVX mini rumble Sanji versus Gohan's what we're talking about. It's okay. Anyway, my opinion on Natsu v Ace, because I've had to cut fucking. I'll probably just put some cool music like Tekken 7.
No, I'm not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay. Stats were wrong. They said Natsu was stronger just because he lifted a rock, even though like Luffy in a near-death state and pre-time skip could lift a much larger rock and then threw a rock at another big fucking rock and it crumbled while he was about to die. And they just got speed wrong, and then they assumed that Natsu being faster than I can see is as fast as... They really didn't make a calc. They just said that he's Mach 11, like 9,000 miles per hour, just because he can't be seen. And that's the exact same number they got for Zoro. So they think that all faster than I, excuse me.
That's a big difference right there,
So it's super weird. Yeah, a little bit, I wish, but still. So even then in the death battle, in the actual, they said that the DC was equal anyway. They both could destroy towns if they want to with their fire attack. So whatever. The main thing wasn't so much the stats, it's just that they got Ace's abilities wrong. And Natsu too, because Natsu, they said that, he has super senses, so he can smell weaknesses in people's. When if you read Fairy Tail, even the most adamant Fairy Tail fans would say that Natsu is not necessarily the brightest fighter in the world. He just kind of
he's a moron. He makes Goku look like a fucking
genius. Moron.
And I don't mean like Goku in battle.
Yeah.
I mean Goku in general.
The guy who's going to... Oh, yeah. the guy who's going to and threaten the entire universe.
The guy who turned away. No, in the most recent episode, in Dragon Ball Super episode 95, which by the way is fucking amazing because Frieza is great. Yeah.
I fucking love Frieza.
And in 94, Frieza has like the best transformation since at least Super Saiyan God, like the first one, when he goes to Gold. And in this episode, he no-sells destruction energy from, like, that was a second hand from a god of destruction. So a god of destruction gave a ball of destruction energy, Hakai. You know, that stuff? Remember, you know all the wank about Hakai? I'm not really sure it's all accurate.
He knows it. And that's fucking
that's this different thing. Goku doesn't know it.
Or he resisted it. Excuse me.
He resisted it. But here's the thing. After he not only did he resist it, he condensed it back down into a ball. And Goku turned away from Frieza. Fucking Frieza. Knowing that he had this ball. And Frieza instantly slapped it on Goku's back. And Goku wasn't powered up. So he couldn't really get rid of it like Frieza could. Plus, I think Frieza actually has better control.
Character judgment right there.
Yeah, and Natsu makes that look intelligent. So
but besides that, they also said that Ace, all he has is fire when literally, not only did Van Augur say that, he has an amazing, like, sense of, like, combat fighting ability. And even though, like, Peckham said that Logias who just get by, using the regen in the New World get their shit pushed in because all the hockey users can just nullify their intangibility anyway in the New World. So Ace would have had to have had some combat prowess, and he's been training since he was like 7 years old.
Hockey nullifies Logia? I did not know that. I'm not in One Piece.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. So like,
it is. So basically, anybody with ki or something similar to ki could like damage like their real bodies, and but that only matters if you.
I know this is tangential, but then why the fuck was like Gaara versus Crocodile ever the debate when Gaara has chakra, which is pretty much the same thing?
It's more that he uses like the chakra to control sand instead of like just imbuing a physical attack with it. I don't know. It's more.
He does punch.
It's
people.
More like he does punch people, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe Crocodile versus Gaara is a little bit inaccurate now. But
it's always been a stalemate, so who really cares? That's just tangential. It's just me. That's me rambling.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also Ace carries a dagger, so it's not like he has a knife for a reason. So he could reasonably use that if he feels like it's necessary to carry that around him. So what else was there? Ace isn't weak to lightning. Like they said that his fire form could Ace couldn't be harmed by fire, obviously, because he's a fire guy. But like lightning would, even though that's not really a thing at all.
I know what you're getting at, but that's not what they said. They said that if Ace is in his fire form, then he could be eaten, which like you can't read. Yeah, okay. So he'd say.
I know. That's what they said.
Wait.
So
you need to cover that before you go into everything. You need to cover that.
I understand.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're gonna say though. He get more careless, and he's more physical. So in his physical body, the lightning, in that sense, it could hurt him. But
that's all they said. They fire doesn't hurt him at all.
The way how the but I don't know. It was just the way that the animation worked out.
I agree. The animation didn't portray that at all.
Because he was already in his fire state, and then he shot him with lightning. So it was kind of weird if that's what they were applying.
Yeah, I agree.
But besides that, they also if you ever watch like the Death Battle cast or whatever, I did because I'm a loser and I just needed.
I don't have time. I want to. I kind of want to just because it would help for this kind of stuff, but I just never have time.
But the big thing that regardless of all that, whether they got the stats wrong at all, they thought it was like a complete stalemate. And what was like the big deciding factor was because, they said that Natsu is stronger, has better fighting and stuff, whereas Ace has better stamina and could just outlast him with regen, so they couldn't find something that would work to be like the deal breaker there. They decide that not Ace could just, he has to, what's the word I'm good? He has to like activate conscious intangibility, which isn't a thing at all because Logias, who are highly trained, could just, even when they're caught completely off guard, they still turn into their element. So it doesn't.
In all fairness,
so
they did show a scene of Ace getting like hit by a guy.
That was during a gag scene. That was like the one example, and then there's another scene with Ace and like his cover story, which are canon. They're like just these little snippets of stories that take place during the cover pages of each chapter. They said that it showed like Ace was turned to a bunch of Marines. He was like his back was to them and his eyes were closed. Yet when they shot him from like multiple angles with all these bullets, they still passed through him, even though they were like caught. He was like caught off guard and wasn't paying attention. They still went through him. So, like even if like Natsu were to like take him off guard, it's still like it would still go through him logically. The only thing that you could get through that is if you had hockey, or if you had magma, or if you could just like disperse his fire over like a ridiculously large area. I guess I don't know.
Or just,
that was like one
DC.
argument I've seen that could get past that.
If you have enough DC, you'll just kill everything around him. Eventually, he's probably going to fall into water.
If you blow up the planet, there's no oxygen for fire, so
just if you're fighting on an island, blow up the island, because then he's going to fall into the water.
Yeah, that too. Oh, well, he could fly, but yeah,
he's going to come down eventually. That's the thing with highs; you always come down.
But anyway, we've gone on too far about this episode, which is kind of like a filler episode. Anyway,
yes, this was a group effort.
You had some tangential stuff. Don't even start.
Okay, fine.
So,
I agree with what Max said. Just to cover being brief, like I'm timing myself. I agree with what Max said. Basically, the only thing they got right in their reasoning, in my opinion, that was debated, was that Natsu can eat Ace. That's definitely a thing in my opinion. I haven't seen much that convinces me otherwise.
They also said in Death Outcast that they didn't think that it was like reasonable for Natsu to eat Ace, and that's what Ben and Chad said. I didn't think that was like likely because he could just back into human form.
Yeah, that's fine. But if he was to stay in fire form, then he could. That means that Ace would have to stay in human form. That's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay, in my opinion. That Natsu has a counter to Ace's Logia abilities. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter because Ace scales to better feats than everything in Fairy Tail. So I don't really think there's much of an argument for Natsu other than he can eat Ace, and well, Ace has a counter to being eaten. Not actually, if he's eaten, he's fucked. But he can stop himself from being eaten, and I think that's why Ace should win. That, and he has a complete stat stomp. So.
Oh yeah, if he's absorbed completely by Natsu, I could see that being like an actual thing. Yeah. If he gets into his
otherwise, I think I think Ace is smart enough. He's the smarter of the two. Fuck that. Fuck Natsu being a genius. Ace is the smarter of the two.
And Ace isn't the smartest guy ever either. So let's be clear with that. Just to be completely honest. The guy got like himself killed by being a dumbass.
Yeah, that tends to happen in Shonen.
Yeah, but enough of my spurging around.
It's my turn.
Most turn. Yeah.
Yeah, Subzero v Glacius. In my opinion, this is the most half-assed death battle we've had since Beast v Goliath. It was.
Completely agree.
And that's just in terms of animation. We're not getting into the verdict yet. Verdict is a different thing. In terms of animation, it was one of the sprites did not mesh together. The music, Killer Instinct music, is fucking phenomenal, and but it has timings in it that you really need to use because of how the music works. The music changes depending on how it's fighting. If it slows down as what's it called?
Small combos, maybe.
Yeah, if there's zoning and stuff going on, and during combo, as combos start getting traded and combo breakers, it speeds up. And then when you're on no health, it gets even faster. And I think abusing that would have helped a lot, but it just felt like they took a complete soundtrack from YouTube and just looped that, and it didn't really work. The actual sound effects were bad. It was a bit choppy and slow. The sprites, as I mentioned, did not gel together. I hate the fucking live action Mortal Kombat sprites. People, please stop using them. We know that the sprites.
It's a nostalgia. Yeah, it's a nostalgia thing because I liked those games when I was younger, but it doesn't. There's other sprites to use in 2017.
Yeah. We know that there's new gen games with better sprites out there because Ryu vs Scorpion used a really good Scorpion, and just recoloring that Scorpion would work because you don't really need the ice effects on what's called Subzero sprite sheet. You can remake the ice pretty easily. So yeah, I did not like the fight animation, and now the verdict: it was ass. It's really bad. Honestly, there was 3 wrong fights in a row, so we should declare an unholy trinity. But we'll explain in a minute why we haven't. Oh, it's still on the table. Yeah, Subzero. They use Test Your Might again. It's super non-canon and nowhere near as impressive as they say it is. They didn't have any feats on Glacius blitzing Arya's level, as they did in what's it called? As they didn't have anything for Subzero on that level in terms of speed. So in order to equalize their speed, they just go ninja magic. Because fuck that noise. The one time we've had a legitimate ninja against a non-ninja, what's it called? That isn't Mortal Kombat. It got them killed. You know.
And you forgot the experience factor.
Oh yeah, the experience.
MK has a very large scale that makes it more impressive than anything else that anybody else has.
Fuck that noise. Killer Instinct's whole gimmick is that every single member of the roster is a different movie trope. So because they're a different movie trope, they tend to be pretty fucking different. You know, like let's think of the fucking his rival is a guy made out of plasma, who he can conceivably kill with his fatalities, which like that's fair. That's fair to count. And both there's one fatality in all of MK I think is unfair to count, and it's the Cyrax blowing up the planet one, because that's an obvious like outlier and what's called gag feat. And the same with Babalities and friendships and all that. They're probably shit too. But other fatalities for both are okay. Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat, though Killer Instinct is ultimates, and no mercies. Yeah, Glacius has one where he liquidizes his foe. He can do that to Cinder. He killed Cinder in canon. It's never explained how. It's not really that big of a deal to say he did it this way, given that's one of the ways he kills his enemies. And it seems to be one of his favored ones. Yeah, so doing that requires much more energy than anything Sub-Zero has ever done, at least unamped. I think he had an amp in the comics, and that froze a city, but I don't, given the Glacius is freezing plasma, I honestly don't know which actually has more energy. I think it's actually Glacius's feat. So Glacius is faster, Glacius has better DC. You could argue physical strength, I suppose, because Glacius doesn't fight physically, but here's the thing.
And he's literally cooler.
Yeah, yeah, he is. Here's the thing about their calcs, is they said that because titanium has a certain fracture strength, and he fractured this titanium statue, which was about a couple of inches thick, would you say?
Yeah, something like that.
So that means he could fracture Glacius's armor, but Glacius' armor isn't a couple of inches thick, even though ice has a different ice has lower fracture strength. It was thicker than where the statue broke.
It's like saying it's like saying that you can break like a titanium statue. That means you can like crack like a fucking Arctic ice shelf or something. It's like it gets a lot more different when it's thicker, and it's fucking Glacius. It's not normal ice, and it's
it's not
it's like he's
ice.
like an alien or something, right?
He manipulates molecules. He manipulates stuff on a molecular level. So assuming that it's just ice is actually really, really retarded, and giving him that durability. Yeah. Also, since then he's canonically defeated Fulgor. You know, the God Killer. Yeah. Now, this is since the Battle of the Earth, so I'm not going to hold it against him, and I don't think it's fair to do that. It's always worth mentioning, but never to hold it against him. Same as like with stuff like Garo getting magnet release, just for example. It's worth mentioning, but yeah, he beat Fulgor and freed Eagle. So because Eagle was being held at Ultratech and was used to give all the Fulgor units their warrior instinct. Yeah, he beat the main Fulgor body, the actual, not the fodder one. He beat the main one. I don't think he killed it, but he beat it, and that's the one that Death Battle were all like, oh, it took 2 God Killers to bring him down. He's the one with the nuke in his chest, you know. Glacius beat it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think that there's much ground to stand on here other than ninja magic. Now,
it was just a filler episode, and it felt like a
Sub-Zero does have more
episode.
combat experience, but not against a wider variety of foes.
Combat experience is honestly pretty overrated unless you're
really
like you have 2 very near equal people.
Yeah. or you have like a killer ability in the mix. You know,
Yeah.
like someone like a lot of absorption.
Or if you've gone up against someone who's had or kind of abilities or something, so that you have like some idea of how to counter it.
Speaking
but, again,
of,
you have to be pretty close. Oh, hey!
Yeah, that's a really good segue. Well done, Mac.
I didn't even
Android 18 versus Captain Marvel. I do not like Captain Marvel. I think she is the worst Marvel character in all of comics, and Tony Stark exists.
I think she's the worst character in comics, and that's just me. But she's pretty overrated, and even though she logically should have won, in our opinion, based off the things I've heard of her, I wouldn't care to research her.
She's absorbed black holes and white holes. She's done a lot more stellar stuff. And
there's some arguments against that, and I can't dispute them because Captain Marvel, I really don't care about researching her.
I think like people like Tommy did refute them, but I honestly don't care enough to look into it. But as far as I know, they were refuted. So
but as far as but even if it was wrong, like even blatantly wrong, quality won. So if it's wrong, I don't want to be right.
That's generally our reaction before people ask. If the character we like wins, I think you've noticed it by now. Yeah, we don't tend to give a shit.
We're biased as fuck.
Yeah, we're biased as fuck.
We're biased little bitches.
We will always tell you which character should win, but then we'll always be rooting for the character we want to win. It's why I was rooting for Natsu against Ace, because I knew it would drive Mac to tears. Anyway, yeah, this fight was wrong as balls. The first thing I want to get into is one that Ben's addressed. Android 18 absorbing energy. He's since admitted on Twitter, I'm not editing it in, you can find it yourself, it's on his Twitter page. If you're seeing this ahead of time, oops. He's admitted that was wrong. There's actually a manga page and a scene in the anime of Trunks saying that, yes, Android 17 and 18 don't absorb energy, they don't need it, they have infinite energy.
It was basically included because of like a non-canon video game Xenoverse or something like that.
Yeah, it was in Xenoverse and because Super 17
But other people who can't absorb energy were able to use that same ability too, like Goku, for example.
Yeah, and not only that, they said it's because Super 17 could, and I saw him say on Twitter, Super 17 didn't get a hardware upgrade. Yes, he did. That's the whole point of Super 17. Yeah. He merged with Hell 17. Like, did you watch GT? I don't blame you if you didn't, but you say you did for research, man. You know, okay, yeah, Super 17 is awful and forgettable, so I actually don't blame him that much. Although, from what I know, he actually didn't research this. Ben and Chad don't really research much at all anymore. They just kind of put.
So it was somebody else.
So it just, I think it was Nick
last
time.
But it should have been verified.
Yeah,
to be fair,
it should have been verified. And he said it slipped through the crack.
The other thing,
sorry. But
go ahead.
It's worth mentioning. The other thing that leads on from energy absorption, I think you were going to move on to the whole thing with the speed. No, not yet. The energy absorption.
No, it wasn't speed. It wasn't speed. I was more like, okay, so I'm just kind of like mimicking points from Seth the Programmer's video, which it goes way more into this fight in detail than probably we will. But he made a very, very good point when they were like initially analyzing them. They went out of their way to like just the way how they were describing 18's abilities and stuff in her destructive capacities. Like she can destroy a whole building, and it's just like it's like super underselling it. It's like they wanted to avoid. In Seth the Programmer's words, it's like they wanted to avoid like power scaling or using any direct power scaling at all because they've been pretty infamous for going on record that power scaling in Dragon Ball is something they don't believe in, but they kind of did, like in this episode, a lot.
Yeah,
like breaking Vegeta's arm, for example.
Yeah, not only that. No, here's the thing: they said potentially. When they were power scaling 18, they didn't really power scale her. They just said, this is what she could potentially be. No, bullshit. She kicked the crap out of a guy who is equal. She kicked the crap out of a guy who is equal to or slightly less than a guy who bitch slapped Frieza in his final form. Frieza in his first form pops planets. It's simple A equals B equals C, or A is greater than B greater than C shit. Sometimes that doesn't
survived the planet bus too while he was in a super weakened form.
Yeah. Sometimes that doesn't work, in all fairness. Sometimes that does not work. But in this case, it was all pure force involved. So there is nothing really to say here. No, 18 potentially is equal to Super Saiyan Blue. We saw that with 17. So yeah, fuck off with that potential shit. No, yeah.
I fucking wish, by the way.
Oh, wait for the Tournament of Power. Did you see what one of the next episodes is called?
Hell no, I don't watch it. I just watch
power
for the games.
Krillin. Krillin's getting upgrades, boy. If he's getting upgrades,
fuck yeah.
18 must get upgrades.
Or,
Probably. She's female. It's 50-50. Yeah. No, well, one of my bigger problems with this fight was them saying 18 has experience with energy absorbers. No, she fucking doesn't. Especially not the way that what's it called?
Captain Marvel
works. Marvel can just hold out her hands or touch you and absorb your energy. Exactly like how Android 19 and 20 work. What was her
doesn't even really need to touch you, from what I believe.
She doesn't need to touch
passively
you.
Absorbed from the environment.
Yeah, but
from distance too.
Let's be fair, Marvel needs to be in binary to hurt 18. So yeah, she's probably gonna need to touch her. She's gonna need to touch her to get that much, but she can get that much out of 18 because 18 has infinite energy, which is the big crux of the 18's biggest perk works against her here. No, they said she has experienced energy absorbers because of Jiro and Cell. Cell's energy absorption is very different. He can only absorb your energy if he absorbs you. Also, she did horribly.
Yeah, he eats your ass.
Yeah, she did horribly when dealing with Cell because Cell absorbs 17 and 18 differently, and also she definitely know how to deal with them. 18, what are you doing still here? I don't know, and she just didn't leave and let herself get caught. So yeah, she did perfectly against the one energy absorber she fought. The other one, Jiro, 17 just instantly kicked his head off. Because he was
he was just kind of a bitch.
They did not deal with energy absorption at all, and none of the foes she's fought since, which is Goten and Trunks, and she got bitch slapped by Majin Buu. That's about it. Yeah, none of the rest.
And Bio Brawly.
Oh yeah, and Bio Brawly, which is actually hilarious because she doesn't. Nearly everyone in Z scales to some of the bullshit that happens in what's it called? Like the movies and shit that gives them upgrades or the anime upgrades, except 18. Unless you want to scale Goten and Trunks to Broly, which you don't. So yeah. So this fight, So as we said, Marvel needs to go into binary, but she's faster, due to being scaling to multiple FTL people like Iron Man and several heralds outside binary, Thor. Did I say that right? Did I do the Irish Thor again?
Thor.
Okay.
TH.
I did it right this time, I think. Okay. Yeah. So Marvel will get the energy off of 18, and in binary, she's a herald level being. 18 is not yet. Give her time. So 18 is a star level plus being. So without the anime, which most people don't use. Even with the anime, at this point, there was no FTL feats, I think. And she scales to nothing. So Captain Marvel beats her ass.
So even though we definitely prefer 18.
Oh, easily.
We're not. We do, but we will address it even if Death Battle is wrong, like most of. But enough of that versus nonsense. The fight itself was actually pretty decent, in my opinion.
The fight was okay. It's probably the best 2D fight of the season and the second best overall. I'd still only call it okay. There's not... Okay, Captain Marvel's sprite was actually one of the worst things ever. Oh my god. And the binary...
I don't remember it that much.
The binary sprite is actually the worst
thing
ever.
The binary one was goofy. But it's okay because 18 pretty much curb stomped her the whole fight and
then
literally curb stomped her at the end. Best moment ever.
Yeah, there was some cool things in the animation.
Good. It was decent.
Yeah, there's not actually that much to say about it. There's nothing to complain. There's some audio issues, but I
guess
there's not really to complain about. It's Zack. Even Zack's bad animation, like Raiden versus Genos, is better than most of the 2D stuff we've gotten this season.
More than that, to be honest. I said I like this episode more than Raiden versus Genos.
Well,
in
yeah,
my
that's because
opinion.
Raiden versus Genos was actually really bad. But yeah, this was more fun than that. It is easily the best 2D fight we've got this season. But it's still only okay in my opinion.
There's some funny moments, so that got me laughing. I smirked a couple of times especially when she like grabbed Marvel by the hair and just fucking thrashed her around. That was pretty funny.
That was funny enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing to.
And they made 18 look like a bad bitch, like she is. So it was good.
Krillin pounds that.
Like she likes that. Like she licks him.
Do you think she uses like Krillin's whole body as a dildo?
I wouldn't put it past her. I mean,
she probably.
You think Krillin would like that?
He's a weird
I
dude.
think he really has.
He is a weird dude.
So Zero versus Metal Sonic.
Okay, yeah. Zero versus Metal Sonic. So this is an obvious sequel, or at least spiritually, to Mega Man Wily versus Eggman.
Ben's best work.
Ben's easily best fight, yeah. So if any of his fights had to get a sequel, it should have been Mario versus Sonic. Mario versus Sonic 2, the sequel.
No,
this is definitely. I'm glad it was this one. It's also ironically, it's a debate that they started. Because I don't think anyone ever cared about Metal Sonic versus Zero until that fight came out. And
Zero was put up against virtually everybody with a sword.
Yeah,
fiction.
But then,
like at one point, if he has a sword, Zero's gonna fight him.
Yeah. Zero's been suggested for Sephiroth, Meta Knight.
Fuck Meta.
Yeah,
Knight.
fuck
Thank
that shit.
God it wasn't.
Thank God it was not Meta Knight. Yeah, it's been suggested for a lot of people. But this is a fight that Death Battle themselves pretty much started, because if you look at the comments, at least years ago when I last watched that fight, everyone said, "Where the fuck was Zero?" So now we'll know what would have happened, at least in their view.
Yeah.
Okay, there's two different questions here that could have very different answers. Well, I think they do have different answers. What should happen and what will happen.
This is pretty much every Death Battle question.
Yeah, but this one I think is like super clear cut on both.
It's super what?
It's super clear cut what's gonna happen on both.
Oh, yeah, and not necessarily in a good way.
Yeah. Zero should take Metal, skin his carcass, wear it as a suit of armor, and then go and beat up Sonic with it just because he can.
My exact quote was he should push his tin-coated shit in. But, yeah, that's realistically what should happen. But we know that they tend to be pretty, like what's the word I'm looking for? They're pretty, not spiteful. They're very... not favoritive. They're very generous to what they give Sonic characters.
That's not really what I mean. That's not really what I mean. They wouldn't be doing this fight if they couldn't prove that Zero wouldn't matter. In my opinion.
Oh, that's where you're going with.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it's a very negative view to have, but it's just, it's the same reason Superman versus Goku 2 happened. I think this is literally what
I don't think that's it.
I honestly do, because there's no one else. There's no one else who suggested that, and they wouldn't want to put a tarnish on their old work by saying, "Oh yeah, if you had included Zero, Wily would have hands down won." No, this is.
Maybe they could have just said maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little bit optimistic here.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I'm kind of hopeful too, because Zero has such crazy bullshit.
Maybe they just didn't take. Yeah, maybe they just didn't take Zero into account just because they wanted to go with the old Wily stuff that he actually used and was able to control and stuff. So maybe that could be it. Maybe
Zero is different in lore.
We'll see what Zero does. Yeah, Zero is many years into the future.
Wily literally never controlled Zero. Well, he sent the Maverick virus into the future with him, and that's about all he managed to do with Zero. Yeah, Zero should kill Metal. I honestly don't think he will. I think that the only reason I think this fight's happening is because they can say Zero didn't matter. I know
Does Zero have a copy ability like X does, or is that he? I know he has different. I know he has his sword and he has like a blaster, but does
don't you need to beat enemies, don't you? To like in every Mega Man game.
I only played Mega Man X1, so I never played that. And even then, when I got to fucking Sigma's Fortress, because I am really, really good at video games. So I don't really know that much about Zero's capabilities other than that he has a sword and fuck him in MVC3.
Yeah, he has the same copy ability as like every other Mega Man. He beats an enemy, he gets their power. Because Mega Man.
So that kind of like nullifies.
No, Mac, you're missing the key point. It's the same thing that fucked over base. Beat an enemy. So he's just Mega Man Zero X is just Metal's just gonna copy all of Zero's capabilities and then keep going to Metal Overlord, and then he's just gonna kill him. Because that's exactly
Didn't
how
they say in like the preview that you can only copy one ability at a time?
They say they only copy their whatever enemy he copies.
He copies one thing.
He only copies their most relevant skill. But he also in the last fight they said he copies all of their stats, which if I remember correctly he does. He just didn't copy super stats, and the Super Sonic fucked them up. But which Supersonic should lose to Zero, to give you guys an idea of how strong Zero is. But he's not going to. Zero's probably going to lose. I know that's a very pessimistic view, but I often don't actually have that pessimistic view that they're going to fuck up. But this time I do.
But, I mean, let's be fair. I can't even say this with I can't say it with a straight face. Damn it. I was going to say that at least Archie Metal Sonic wins.
No, he's even worse.
I know. I can't say it with a straight face.
Metal's the one character where his skills and Archie are fucking abysmal.
Yeah. He literally tried to go as fast as Sonic and he like melted or something.
No, he's not only that. Metal is in the Sonic games canon. He's repaired but not like replaced or rebuilt. He gets broken, but he gets back up. In the comics, Metal dies a lot and there's new medals that pop up every now and then. Sometimes there's two medals going around at the same time. I know one of the more recent ones, like 2014-ish, a Metal Sonic got converted to the good guys and was named Shard, and then an evil Metal Sonic showed up and they both died. And then the Genesis wave happened, Crisis on Infinite Sonics.
Crisis on Infinite Sonics. Yeah.
Yeah, that. There's the first one of those happened, I think, and then it led into the Mega Man crossover, of all things. Yeah. So yeah, Metal gets nothing from Archie. He gets absolutely fucking nothing.
So to the uninitiated who don't know anything about X, why would realistically X win?
You mean zero?
Or zero, excuse me.
He is just a I don't have them on me, or like on the top of my head. He just has a load of like kick-ass feats. Like
I know he's being compared to like Lumen Day, I think his name is, and he created like a dimension with a star in it. So it's like one of those feats, and he beat him. Plus, like even like the original Mega Man and Base and all of them have like faster than light speeds, which is all you really need to be a Sonic character realistically, because the most it could be wanked to is like very low FTL anyway, or light speed, and that's with like being really, really generous. So Zero basically wins just because he's just much stronger. It's just one of those kind of matches, and he's just scaling and stuff. But it's just scaling. I don't know, like clear cut what Zero has done on his own besides scaling.
There's something about like some sort of colony that fell on him, and it was
Eurasia or Asia or something like that.
The Eurasia colony. It fell on him, and he was fine.
Okay.
Or fell on some like fodder level being, at least compared to Zero. There's other shit, but the thing is, he's died to some stuff too, of that level, so they might not give it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not proto. I don't know all my Mega Man lore very well. I like
look at the comments.
I like the characters and I play the games when I can, but I'm good at video games. So yeah. So yeah, Zero should win. I don't think he will. Mac thinks he will.
I didn't say that. I think I just don't think they're just doing it out of spite. But I'm a realist too here.
It's less Sprite, more.
I think it might be 50-50 because like Metal has like just a lot of things I think you're saying. Oh, he's not really as good at Sonic either, just because there's just a lot of examples there. The only thing that really helps his case would be like Sonic Heroes, maybe. But even then, I don't know.
That's where
I don't know because
that's where 90%
with Death Battle anything could happen.
That's where like 90% of the good shit
Zoro will win, but yeah.
Yes, it's a kind of similar situation, I think. Well, we can hope. We can hope that the Baisho Hero beats the Baisho Robot beats the furry robot. Yeah. That's all for the death battles. It only took us an hour, which I said we get the whole.
Thank God.
Oh my God. At least I'm not really editing this other than like putting Tekken music over it or something. Burp. Okay, DBXs. We have 1,
they were all
2,
good.
3, 4, 5. We have 5 of them. 5 DBXs. And honestly, I think Mac is right, and they are. Oh, okay, Mega Man versus Bomberman, I don't know.
That one's more meh.
And Sasuke versus Killer is
They
okay.
kind of, yeah. Well, I mean, okay is better than what they had before.
It's a huge step up from what came before. Okay, so first things first. Doomsday versus Broly.
Fucking awesome. Although they should have used more of more abilities than just kind of like straight up just generic punching and stuff.
Yeah.
But and honestly, I feel like it would be more hype for Broly to win that one, as much as I like DC and stuff. But
the way they framed it,
whatever. I'm gonna take it.
If Doomsday, I think I said this last time. If Doomsday was to win, they had to have the turnaround faster.
Yeah.
Because it was left like hanging there, and it's like, oh, Doomsday's still alive. He's gonna win. Duh. And it just kind of ruined the last 10 seconds or so.
That's just how all versus animations tend to go these days. It feels like you're kind of like generic like that. Oh, it's a fake out, and then this guy's gonna win now. You can like, it's like that episode of The Simpsons where like Bart freeze frames at like the exact moment like somebody's like heart breaks, but you can freeze frames like the moment exactly where somebody's about to win. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not an analogy, but that's just how I saw it.
Yeah, fair. Not much to say other than it's good, and Zach came back for this one. I think pretty much. And speaking of Zach, the next one is actually Akira, Aegis versus Noel. And with this, I think like Zach. Let's see, Zach, Akira, and Brandon are all back with Screw Attack, at least making independent content for them. And Zach animated 18 versus Marvel, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did. So he's back on Death Battles too, at least in part. So looking up for us on the animation front at least. Although because Hypergauge are still doing good shit and they're kind of dragging. I think a lot of the Hypergauge guys coming in and is dragging up the rest of the 2D animators too. And also what's his name? I think is it Jets, his TV animation.
Yeah.
He's I think it's him. Has moved in house with Screw Attack in Austin.
Yeah.
So it's all looking up. Yeah, Aegis versus Noel. There was robot tits.
And ass.
And also transformations. And anime.
We obviously know both characters by
we know
heart.
both
Everything about them.
Intimately. They're probably in my folder somewhere actually. But no. No. This was actually really well animated.
Mo said at the moment, he said that this was his favorite, like, first animation or something. That when it came out, the first day it came out.
I think I said it was the best 2D animation I've seen.
Oh no, you were glowing over it. Don't lie.
I remember. I said it's the best non-hypergauge 2D animation I've seen. And I oh wait, was it the kid? I thought it was the kid who did this. Then what did I say? What did I say now? No, I said that about Cloud versus Guts.
No, you said Killer before.
No, yeah, I said that about Cloud versus Guts. It's just, this one says the best versus animation I'd seen in like for most of the year or something. Not ever, but it is really good. At least technically, maybe not in terms of hype, but on a technical
Wolf
level.
mentioned when we tried. Yeah, Wolf mentioned it when we attempted to do this last time, but it's just really like going into the technical aspect, like those sprites in particular for I think Noelle.
Yeah,
to play Blue Girl, those are like really hard to animate because they're so detailed and have fluid
both
motions
of them are
and
System
shit.
Works
And
characters.
they did very, very well. Huh?
Both of them are Arc System Works characters because Aegis'
So
sprite was probably from
both
Persona
really hard
4
to
Arena.
animate because their sprites are really good.
Yeah, but also really hard to use, and to get them as fluid as Akira does, takes a lot of skill. So I can appreciate that. In terms of the actual flow of the fight, it was fine. It was really good, but that's kind of what lets it down rather than the actual content, like the skill in the fight itself. But when I say lets it down, I mean it reduces it from like a 9 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. It's still really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
Not much to say about this one because I don't know anything about them.
Yeah,
but
I wish I knew
was
the characters.
really
I kind of wish I knew the characters a bit better, but that means playing Persona and BlazBlue, and I have no drive to do that whatsoever. Okay, so Cloud versus Guts.
This fight was
Holy
really fucking
shit.
cool.
It was so good.
It was so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, this is the one I said is the best non-hyper gauge fight I've ever seen.
You said it for both of them, but then you corrected yourself.
Aegis versus Noelle is hyper gauge, so I think I got it mixed up at the time. But Aegis versus Noelle is still good. This is
literally the only complaint I have is Cloud's one little cutscene because they looked a little bit weird. And shit. But
although I gotta admit, as bad as his eyes were, I was just happy it wasn't pixel art. It was just sprite work. I hate pixel art so much.
Yeah.
So
but I'm actually surprised because they actually worked a lot of both the characters' like abilities in and their weapons and shit. I mean, granted, Guts doesn't have a whole lot besides bombs and
they took some artistic license with him.
Yeah, but for Cloud to show as much materia as he did in this one, just the different kinds of materia he has, it was just nobody really does that in like these kind of fights.
Yeah, they just have
it's all just straight up the sword.
It's slash shit.
But this was really cool.
Yeah, it was really nice to see, and I think the fake out actually worked really well because I honestly thought Guts won. That's the way a fake out should be, and it's like, wait, why did he disappear that? And then Cloud does it, and he's walking away. All his guts is like
which is a little bit weird.
No,
to be honest.
He's walking away when he's fought, and then he goes away like a Final Fantasy like enemy. All that would make it up is if you had like damage values on him. That would be really cool. But yeah, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Right. We could gush about this forever because it was just the flow of it and the music used and that they use different like multiple music tracks. It's so good.
Doing both characters justice too. Like they both had their times to shine, which is like the best thing you can ask for.
Yes, they did. But we have other stuff to do, so
unfortunately
we can't stay on this. We should have saved this to last because then we could have just kept talking and started live streaming instead.
Well,
we'll know for next time. So
downgrading in quality. We got Sasuke versus Killua. Although Killua's pretty cool. I like Killua.
I gotta say, I don't like Sasuke. I know Naruto.
Does anybody?
I know Naruto. I don't like Naruto. If that makes sense. I know a lot. I know a decent bit about the lore. And I wish I didn't. It's one of those situations, I've never read it, but I know a lot.
I have no idea what you mean. Fairy Tail coming up. Hey, is there a new chapter today? Actually,
what?
Is there a new chapter today? Let me go check.
Oh please, God, no! you go have your
Maybe
go
I'll be
have your
surprised
fun.
for the chat later.
Yeah, you go have your fun with that. Making dragons shit. But thing about Sasuke is I've never seen an animation use him after. I think the latest that he's been is the 1-minute melee, which was probably after the Itachi fight.
That was the first one of the season, I think.
Yeah,
right?
but what I mean is like in terms of timeline, because
I like the actual story.
Yeah, he had the Tsukuyomi in that. I think I don't know if he used the normal.
Well, is there anything that they could use that shows like a more like recent Sasuke? Like, has there been like any sprites or models or anything that
I don't know. I think so.
Like
even then, just
the
using
one with the turban and shit, the older Sasuke, or from the last or whatever.
I don't know if there's any sprite stuff for that, but you can just like
thematically it makes sense to they use.
Oh yeah, it's not that. It's just I kind of wish if you're gonna keep using Sasuke, someone would actually just use the fucking, not even just Amaterasu and Susanoo. That's like the only reason Sasuke is any good when he shows up is because his powers tend to be pretty cool. Even though the character is an asshole.
That's pretty much every Uchiha, especially the most strongest character in fiction.
Okay, now let's be real, Mac. Let's be real. Okay, let's be real.
Here it comes.
Even with Sasuke and Kira and all that, is there a
thought you were
character
gonna say
that can possibly touch Madara Uchiha?
Damn it! I set you up.
I'm not even talking about normal Madara Uchiha. Let's be honest, Tachi solos.
Yeah,
we're going old school memes here.
Oh fuck yeah, Galactus, bro.
But yeah, Tachi school and Galactus. Oh, that was the best. No, yeah, I just kind of like, before we go into the actual DBX, I wish, since they're doing Sasuke a second time, even though the first time hardly counts, and poor Hiei too. Oh, it's so sad. Yeah. I just wish they kind of used new abilities, because it's not like he doesn't have more that they didn't show. They just showed him throwing fireballs.
And it's just they pretty much just show like exploding shurikens and Chidori and that kind of shit, and maybe his demon form.
And the fucking always the fireball that never hits anything.
Yeah, the fireball that never hits anything. Yeah.
When he's gotten so much.
Yeah.
It's fair, I suppose. He gets so much new shit towards the end. I suppose it's fair because a lot of it would like, why didn't he just do that at the start? A lot of animations like that, but just once, just go off, fuck logic, and just have him go full Ninja Storm 4 super moves on him. I know it's like the most recent one, because I think the Ninja Storm games are actually really good and probably the best way to like take in Naruto lore, because there's a fun game underneath it. Yeah, I know his most recent super move is him making a load of asteroids with the Rinnegan, lighting them on fire with Amaterasu, and then dropping them on you. Like, just go full on that. If you're using a shit character, have fucking fun with it. But
I didn't even know about that. That sounds pretty fucking badass.
A lot of the Ninja Storm supers are fucking amazing. They like, honest to God. I know Naruto's most
look broken.
I know Naruto's most recent one is remember in the manga, like if you've seen it, there's a point when they're fighting Kaguya where he makes a Rasen Shuriken out of like all the tailed beasts. Like,
oh yeah, he's got that.
Yeah, it's that, but he also makes it. He also has in the center of him being surrounded by shadow clones of that. He's in like full Kurama form, and they shoot a tailed beast laser with it, and it like goes off into the atmosphere. It's honestly
that's pretty badass.
I'll link it here just because it actually is really cool. But
sounds like the Mega Man Super in Smash a little bit, like how they all come together.
Kind of is actually, yeah. It kind of is. Yeah, just honestly, I'll just link the Ultimate Jutsu video compilation. You can just skim through it. Just take your time with it. It's literally the only thing I think worth of value in the whole franchise. As for this fight, because we've
let's go up to the tuning exams a little bit. Even if it was still
and there is some quality characters in the show, like Killer Bee and Gaara, Kakashi, Guy, because Guy is fucking amazing. Lee too. Lee is pretty cool.
He was all right. I'd tell Guy just.
Guy stole all of his thunder. Literally all of it. He took the thunder and multiplied said thunder. Became green thunder. With youthful properties and shit like that. Memes! There's some fun characters in it, but, as a whole, I think the only thing that, like, as a product, the only thing worth consuming it's produced is the games. Which says more about Namco than it does about the source, because Namco are amazing. So Sasuke vs. Kira, we've gone on long enough about how Naruto is actually pretty shit with some cool elements. This fight was okay.
Yeah, it was alright. I liked it. It was telling a story and stuff, which is weird because there's another Hunter x Hunter fight that was pretty much all like story elements incorporated into it a lot. And that comes up later with the one-man
with the one
melees, but
no, it was fine. I can't complain. It wasn't amazing, which is kind of a shame off the 3 amazing DB, 4 amazing because Raphael.
I liked it a little bit more than that. I think I don't know. I liked it just because I like Hunter x Hunter from what I know, from what I've seen of it on Toonami, and so I have maybe more of like a knowledge of him and stuff. And
probably that might be.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fine. The bit at the end with the Chidori from the sky versus like whatever the super move from Hunter, and then they both fall, but Sasuke's dead. I was like, is he actually dead? Why did Orochimaru pick him up then? He kind of needs him alive because he's tried cloning Uchiha before. That doesn't work. Well, it does work, but not the way he wants it to. Yeah, it's just, it's fine. I like it. It's a lot better than what we used to get. Can't complain. Well, I did complain about Sasuke not getting later shit, but he also got beat up by a yo-yo. Sasuke got beat up by a combo with a yo-yo. Like, I can't hate that. I just can't. I can't physically hate that. That's so cool. And also,
moving on from that,
it's a yo-yo. Could have been a Beyblade. What if it was a Beyblade? Sasuke get beat the shit up by a Beyblade.
That they could have just ended versus right now. There's no way.
Let it rip his asshole.
Or just fight shows in general. But anyway, Mega Man vs. Bomberman, the last one. That actually just came out on YouTube today, I think.
Yep. I only watched it today on YouTube.
To be honest, I think they could have done better.
Yeah, it was a fight.
I mean, the animation itself was pretty. Yeah, the animation itself was pretty cool, and I liked how they didn't have like pixel art. So it looked like it was more like 2D hand drawn animations. I don't know how they did it, but it looks a little bit better in that way. So if they wanted to go for
color,
that,
because unlike pixel arts, like these guys are really simple, so they could have just paint bucketed that shit.
Which is it was probably it's more fair. They can't do it for other characters.
But like the fucking voices. Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And not only that, but
what
like,
the fuck with Rush?
Mega Man just gave. Yeah, what the fuck would he sacrifice? They're best friends. No, that's just a joke. But Mega Man just got shot on the whole fight, and it's just like, come on, man, he's not a bitch. This is Mega Man.
Yeah, it made Bomberman look like a fucking serial killer, defender of the universe. Oh no, he's actually just in it for the chills. He wants to see the fear in their eyes as the bomb creeps towards them. I think the only bit in the fight that I actually like, the rest of it some of it was good, some of it was bad. The only bit I really enjoyed is the second or two cutaway to the fucking overhead like retro view of it.
Yeah, that
was cool.
Cool
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's a cool little throwback thing.
Otherwise,
which you know they have to do for that kind of like matchup too.
Yeah. Otherwise, it was passable at best and meh at worst. Like that's a bad rating. Although the voice acting and what happened with Rush can just go suck my left nut. It's bad, and I hate it.
I thought it was funny, but I'm just a little bit more fucked up, I guess.
Do I need to remind you what we had last time when we talked about Natsu versus Ace? Or this time, with 18 and Krillin? Yeah, never mind the Natsu v Ace stuff, the moment passed, but it was fucked up. Right, 2 more left. Bison versus Rugal, the woman melee.
I don't know shit about Rugal and I want him to win.
Yeah, that's a good summary of it. He didn't though. He lost. It was slow, and all of the shit they did was from their games. And unlike normal, it wasn't disguised or natural flowing.
Yeah, it was like zoomed back, wasn't it? From what I recall, like his like fighting game kind of.
Yeah. It was. It looked a lot like a fighting game. There's nothing to complain about, but there's also nothing really to praise. It's one of those.
Yeah. It's kind of a running theme with some of these episodes. But
other than the first two death battles, nothing we've had is really bad.
No.
It's just nothing's really. Well, I say nothing. A lot of it isn't really that good either. Something the 3DBXs obviously are.
That's what we give to limiting the 3 shows that we follow anyway. So,
Well, what other ones will we follow?
I mean, if there was more to talk about, then there's like more to talk about. But those are the 3 biggest ones.
Yeah, they're the ones we like.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a fine fight, and I like Bison. I like Rugal. They're cool, but I think it fit the story better for Rugal to win, and the fact that he didn't was surprising. But whatever.
I thought for sure he was going to win too, just because usually the more like underrated or unknown character kind of like wins these kind of things, you know?
Yeah, but he didn't.
He didn't. So no, it is what it is.
And finally, the Woman Melee Season 3 season finale. And if you're listening to us for whatever reason at this point, Hypergage, Mali, I suppose, thank you for not releasing Season 4 whilst we have been on our unintentional hiatus, because I probably would have killed myself.
Honestly.
Yeah, Gon versus Deku. As Midoriya. I don't watch this show. I should. I've been told to, but I don't.
You really should, or read the manga just so you're ahead of everybody.
So I can be the guy who read the manga, just and spoil
read both
everything.
of them. To be honest, they're both great. Well, actually, Hunter x Hunter starting back up again. Hiatus is over.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna like come back soon, or did it? I don't know because I haven't read it in a long time.
What the fuck? They marked it in stores as finished. They were selling it as this is the complete volume. It's been on hiatus that long.
No, it's coming back.
Don't believe you. I actually
hey, if Blizzard could come back and then go on hiatus again. Fucking Hunter x Hunter could.
Berserk came back because it was getting a fucking anime down the road. Kind of.
And then it's
anime implies there's animation involved, not PowerPoints.
Oh, Casca, we'll never know what will happen to you.
Oh, it's on hiatus now. She'll get her memories back, and that will help her mental state. That will definitely.
Yeah, remember getting raped by fucking
Guts
again.
And oh God. Oh Berserk, you're fucked up, man. Anyway, Gon versus Deku.
But
okay.
Anyway,
it was fine.
It was fine. It's more for the fans of both series. If you like both series, it's very talk heavy. There's a lot of like plot elements in it.
Yeah,
it's like a tournament, and there's a lot of like interjections from fucking I forget his name now. Creepy Hisoka. Yeah, Hisoka comes in a lot and he just kind of interferes with things. So if you like the characters in both shows, you like both shows a lot, you'll probably like this because it felt like really organic.
That's my thing with it. Woman Melee is normally, if you don't know the characters, there's still something here for you, But I don't.
There's still like a lot of flashy visual stuff, and that was there, but
I just don't think it was enough this time, especially because of how plot heavy it was, breaking it up, and also because of what it is, the season finale.
Compared to Little Mac versus Ippo, like
Little Mac versus Ippo shits on this one. It just does.
Yeah, like not a lot of people know that one. That one was still very like talk heavy, plot heavy, and stuff.
Okay,
but
let's be honest. Besides Xenos, who the fuck knows who Ippo is?
I did.
Damn it, Mac. Damn it, Mac. Why'd you gotta be a weeb, bro?
It has over 1,000 chapters. It's one of the more famous like sports mangas.
Why'd you gotta be the weeb, bro? Why you gotta be a weeb?
It's okay. A boxing manga is like the least weeb thing to like, dude.
You're that one guy who read Free just to say he read it, aren't you?
Wait, what?
You read or / watched Free just to say you did, didn't you?
Free? I have no idea what you're talking about.
You really don't know what Free is, actually? Oh, damn, the joke fell on its face. I know of it because my sister watched it. It's like a really gay swimming manga or anime. I don't know if I had a manga version, but I know there's an anime. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It's like the most homoerotic thing.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Without actually being gay. And then Yuri on Ice happened, which everyone was talking about, and I had to find out because there was a character in Yu-Gi-Oh! Called Yuri, so you can imagine how fun my Google searches were. Yeah, so Gon versus Deku. I think,
okay.
in my personal opinion, it's a better season finale than Superman versus Saitama, but it's a worse
Which
one.
is depressing to say,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
But that fight was
Yeah.
I said that at the time, and now people are starting to agree with me. But Ipu versus Lilamak is really good, and it's better than the season 1 finale because that was Catwoman versus fucking Black Widow, which was fine, but you know all the hype was for the fact they used Ratchet and Clank music and the teased the next Akuma.
Okay, hype for you maybe.
Shut up! And they used Akuma versus what's his name?
Kenpachi?
Yeah, they had the teaser for the second one of that at the end, and that was all the
Kenpachi.
Yeah, Kenpachi. That was all the hype. You know, that's all the hype they had. That's like the actual fight itself was kind of middling, but this one at least stands on its own two legs a lot better than those two do. There's the animation is just better, and I think it suits them to have just 3 1-minute fights rather than a big fight like Superman versus Saitama. It suits them down to the ground. I don't think it worked as well as Ippo versus Little Mac. I think they tried too hard, almost. But it was still.
I don't know. I think it felt pretty organic anyway. I mean, both like types of manga are just very good with like tournament kind of style fights, and that's basically what this is. Was just that's exactly what it was. It was a tournament fight. So I don't know. It felt like kind of like it makes sense to me as like someone who appreciates and likes both like manga.
Well, yeah, I get the setting and all. It's just the actual flow with the story told in the middle. There was a bit too much of it. I've been
there was like 5 minutes of intercessions and stuff. Yeah, I get that.
No more
stuff. Like they could have cut down.
No, it isn't more because they had the fuck ass long credits at the end.
Yeah.
But no, it's fine. You can't complain about it too much because it's a very passable product, but it's all it is in my opinion. Passable to good, which is a decent rating.
Yeah. So.
Right.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, fair enough.
As a quick recap for those of you who are still with us, Natsu versus Ace is shit, Subzero versus Glacius is shit, Captain Marvel versus 18, Bayteen won, Zero versus Metal, we have no hope, Doomsday versus Broly is good, Aegis versus Noel is good, Clouds versus Guts is orgasmic, Sasuke versus Killa is fine, Mega Man versus Bomberman is Bison versus Rugal is fine, and Gon versus Deku is fine.
So yeah, a little bit of a healthy mix there, and yeah, like we said, we'll probably like cover like emails. Sorry we didn't do it last time because this one is already like a big recap anyway, and we have to hurry it up and find new hosts and do stuff behind the scenes anyway. So we'll probably next time we'll do like a big, huge like email thing.
I think we should just go back to normal next time, and we can work on that apology. Might do like maybe a special of some kind when we have another host locked in.
All right, that's fair enough.
Yeah, that's just we're spitball like that's how much of like in a fucking daze we are right now. We're spitballing ideas in the fucking call, which isn't actually that abnormal for us now that I think about it.
Yeah.
But no, it was yeah. So again, this is one quick recap, not over this fights, just over what's happening. The podcast isn't going away. It might be a bit intermittent now for the next couple of weeks while we get a new host. As we have to try and get people like together, like because we have to redo like we can just do it this time because we have to organize about a new person. Guests will be gone for a while whilst we do this. We might have a Discord server. If we do, it'll be in the description. And I'll probably put I'm not gonna finish it now. I have the server set up. I'm just gonna for next time I'll have it like built properly up because I have a load of ideas for it. I can do it on I have Tuesdays off, so I'll probably do it the Tuesday after this one. Yeah. This so with even though Wolf's gone, the podcast is not going anywhere unless you guys just are like, nah, fuck this, and I'll leave. And we realize we're like showing it to like 20 people. Then we might stop. Maybe these are fun to do. It's something for me to do. I don't have a life. Please help. So
I do. I just do it anyway.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
I'm just here for most of it at this point.
Yeah, I'd be a lonely soul. I walk a lonely road. Yeah, the podcast is not going anywhere. It's Spike Wolf's passing of wind, swift wind. Hey, I'm rambling.
Was that a fart joke?
It was, and then it turned into a joke on the fact his name is Swiftwind because he changed his name. Yeah, okay. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Discussing Death Battle. If you have suggestions, send them to, for now, discussingdeathbattle@gmail.com. If you have, please interact in the comments whilst we're setting up the Discord. And we will see you guys next time, where we will discuss Zero versus Metal and probably 2 DBXs.
All right. So, cool. Peace.
See you guys.